just really analyzing your numbers. That's your money. You want to take control over that. Don't just let it be all willy-nilly. And even it doesn't matter how much you have coming in either. If you have a lot of money to cover your expenses, that's still, you need to know what's coming in and out.
Welcome back to the Wise Retirement Podcast. I'm Angela Kay.
And I'm Reginald Thornton. In our last episode, we dug into our credit, how our scores, reports, and accounts can quietly impact our financial futures.
And today, we're picking up right where we left off with LaQuita Carrington from Operation Hope. We're going deeper into money management, budgeting, and the small practical steps you can take to get control of your finances.
That's right. We're talking mindset shifts, smart saving strategies, and how to build habits that give you real financial peace without getting overwhelmed.
All right. We all need that. So if you've ever felt stuck, unsure about your next step, or wondered how to turn your credit knowledge into action, this episode is for you.
That's right. So let's get back into it and keep learning from LaQuita's insights, her experience, and actual actionable tips to take charge of your money starting right now, today.
What mistakes people have been making with their credit that they don't realize they're making?
Oh, okay. So what mistakes they are making that they don't realize? What we talked about earlier is closing the account. So that's one of them.
Okay.
Closing the
Mm-hmm.
account, and then they get a different. I can tell my own story. When I was married, and we had we have joint accounts. So we didn't get to talk about
Right.
authorized users because that's something that can
Mm-hmm.
happen. And, so I'm tied to a card. So he closed the account without letting me know. So me being an authorized
Right.
user, I saw my score go down. I'm like, what happened? And so he was like, oh, I closed the one of the cards or whatever. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know, that was happening, but he knew. But he was like, don't worry, I just opened up, did a transfer. He opened up a new card. And then the score started eventually going back up, from opening up a new card. But that's one thing I say
Right.
I hear the most, like they're like, I'm gonna close, I just want to pay off all my debt and get rid of it all. And I'm like, no, hold up, stop.
Okay.
Didn't you just say you want a house? And like,
Right.
they want to see that
Right.
history. I think a lot of people ignore what's going on with them. And I'm just gonna say, like, everybody's guilty of it because it's just what's been placed in us to have fear with it, to have comfortableness
Right.
with
The
it.
fear of it.
Like, it's very uncomfortable.
Okay.
Even I still to this day meet with one of our coach for me, because it's like, it's just
Mm-hmm.
trying to do certain things. It feels uncomfortable. It just feels uncomfortable. You
Right.
want the thing to just magically happen, and why do I have to deal with this system? Like,
Exactly.
for certain
Right.
things, like, I'm
Right.
doing so well in my life. Like,
Right.
so,
Right.
I would say, just the feeling of this whole system, we try to help people know that you can reach out to people and get support. And it's just once you just get into it, you feel better. Like, when you start making those actions, you're like, oh, dang, I do have control. And we have so many people that are like, yeah, I'm checking it now, and they feel so
Right.
much better that they got the information that they do have control over it. They can change, they know they
Pick
have
up
the
those
tools
tools.
now. And if they don't do it right away, that's still fine. It's any day you can improve it. So those are some of the things I would say, for that. And I would say we have people with collections. There's a lot of
Yep.
misinformation with collections. We get people out of that scarcity of having conversations. with not just collections, but with credit card companies that they have, anybody, their mortgage company, when they can't pay it. Um, I've been in that situation, where I just was like, it is what it is. I can't do anything. I just allowed it to happen. What we found
Right.
out is the
Mm.
more conversations you have with them, the better. They do have programs, especially with our credit card companies, the mortgage
What?
company. I'm trying to tell you, I have people
Really?
having grace periods of a year, like, to
Mm.
get themselves together. Yes,
Wow.
because they've been with a company or a credit card company for so long, they allow them for months and months and
Mm.
years, like a year. Not let me not say years, but a year.
Years or just a year.
I've seen
Yeah.
multiple times, and so just getting out
Mhm.
of that place where you feel like you don't want to
Okay.
talk to anybody about it. You don't want to tell them what's going on. Just go ahead and have that conversation, communication, because you got to think
Right.
they really want you to pay it at some
Mhm.
point. Like they don't want to close it.
Right.
They don't want to
Okay.
close it.
They don't want to
They
go in
want to.
default.
They
Yeah.
want their money. If they gotta wait a little bit, they'll wait. You know, they'll take you through there. Every bank has their own financial person too. Financial inclusion, you know, wellness, like they have their people
Mm.
that they'll transfer you
Mm.
to talk about your financial
Okay.
situation and see what program you fit in to help you with your situation. So just
Wow.
allowing it to go with no, building up that no payment history. You don't have to start off that way. You can have grace periods to try to get yourself back on your foot, and just being
Yeah.
honest with them and letting them know what's going on. Even with mortgage companies, they'll put stuff on the back end.
Yep. I've
They'll
had
let
that.
give you some months, then they'll take that
Yeah.
amount and they'll say,
Yeah.
okay, we'll put it at the end of your loan. And still, you still get the interest and accrue, but they're working with you. So we have so many people, and when that happens, like, and also like we meet with clients and we tell them to go do that, and then now we have the time to really look at their budget, because are you really budgeting? Do
Right.
you really know what's coming in and out? That's one major, I would say that's a major thing. A lot of
Mhm.
us don't know what's really coming in and out. We're doing it in our head, like when the numbers in our head,
Yeah. Yeah.
and a lot of it's not adding up to what it actually is. And then looking at that, really acknowledging it and seeing it and be like,
Eating
I need
out,
to I need
right?
to improve in this area. I really
Yeah,
have been
that's my
letting go.
Yeah.
With the food, that's the number one, the food, eating out,
yes.
even, we've recognized, and I know people, the groceries are getting higher, the cost of groceries and things like that. But we've actually helped people to really think about like how they grocery shop
Mm.
at the end of the day. So
Right.
are we grocery shopping
Mhm.
for what we're actually going to eat this week? Or are we
Okay.
grocery shopping for just in case meals? You know? So,
Right. 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 Right.
as a
Right.
wellness coach, that's where I
Okay.
come in. I'm like, okay, what are we eating this week? Like what's going
Or
on?
Right.
more.
Are
Right.
we just getting just in case and putting things in the
Yeah.
freezer that stay there in a month and then we have to throw it away? Or we getting 5 fruits instead of just
Oh,
getting
yeah.
3,
Yes, yes,
for
and
the week
yes.
that we're going to
Mhm.
eat, and then the other 2 go bad and we throwing stuff away, and I'm like, that's throwing your money. What's your That's money
Yeah.
energy being thrown away. So how are you going to get it back?
Yeah.
So we got to be careful. We got to be careful and think about the things. That's just creating more awareness and stuff like that with us. But that's the system we've been placed in. It's not, we just been placed in this space. Like we just don't have that education ready and available to us, So,
Yeah. And I mean, given that, another, we talked about the things that they're doing that they're not realizing. Do you have one thing that you can share that people can do to start improving their
mhm.
scores?
I would say that, like I said, the first step is always the first start of our conversation
Okay.
is signing up for your credit reports. So sign up for all 3.
Mm.
Look at them, look at your credit report, and at least once a month. I would say that's the first start, you know. And if you don't have access to someone like me, utilize a chat GPT.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Utilize
Yeah.
utilize the
Yeah.
AI
Yeah.
tool, because they gonna tell you what I'm telling you. Okay.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, I wouldn't say upload now let me put this out here. I would not say upload your credit report to any chat or AI system. They
Yeah.
do not need to have your Social Security number, your address, or name, or anything like that.
Agreed.
But what you can prompt them and you can tell them what's going on. Like you don't even have to say, "This is what's going on with me." What would I do and what would someone do in these situations if they had this going with their credit
Just
report?
in
What
case.
would be the next step after
Yeah.
that? They'll give you the whole rundown step by step, and you could start with that first step and just keep going. Once you accomplish that first step, then you move on to the next one. Don't try to accomplish them all at once because that's how we do people
Yeah.
with coaching sessions. We're not trying to improve everything on your credit report at once.
Okay.
Right.
That's a good
One thing at a
strategy.
time. That's fair.
So like with that, what are your thoughts on credit repair companies? And are they helpful? Are they harmful? What should we do with those collection companies?
I don't know. I
Credit
Good
haven't
repair.
question.
used one. I do know I know some people that have some, like the companies, like not personally, I don't know them, but I know college people that have. But the stories, I can just say the stories I've heard is maybe like there's a system, there's not a lot of there's not a lot of personable uh coaching like this. It's just a system where they will tell you to send them something and then they'll do something on their end and you just have to see if they do it,
Oh,
you know. Sometimes there's not the results that you always would expect because it's not like one-on-one coaching. It's just a system of this is what we do. Send me this. I'm gonna send out these letters, you know, and we see what happened. And I know that the communication is not great with a lot of them. So you feel like still feel stuck, you know, and you're paying all this money.
oh,
So I don't think there might be a credit guru that does one-on-one, but the ones that are companies, that's what I'm hearing. Like,
okay.
it's like a company, and you sign up, you have that subscription of $99 a month and stuff
Oh,
like
wow.
that.
So I think, Lakita, what you're saying is working with someone like yourself at Operation Hope. Um,
Mhm.
it's free, right? To help people
It's
through
free, no cost. People don't believe it. I didn't believe it, okay, when I first started.
their credit.
Yes.
So forget the repair companies. Go straight to Operation Hope. They'll connect you with a financial coach for free to help you build your
Mhm.
credit right. Okay, cool.
I will say the difference and that people have to understand too when we say it's free is that this is coaching. You still have to do the work yourself. So I'm not going to send the letters or, you know, do the steps for you. We're going to give you the steps and be your cheerleader, be your accountability partner along the way. And that might be the difference with a credit repair company. They do something for you. So that's it.
Now, Lakita, so beyond credit, what are the top money management skills people need to master in midlife and beyond?
Whew. Oh, you said midlife.
Yeah, so
Oh,
around my age, I don't know how old you are, but let's say
Yeah,
50-ish.
50-ish. And
well, I believe it or not, I am 40.
okay.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
turned 40 this year.
Oh, well,
So I am in a
welcome.
midpoint. And, so I would say, and this is definitely something that I'm getting better at with myself, because it's like, you're a coach, you need to be oriented too,
Yeah.
Right, right.
is the first step is budgeting. I think I might have mentioned this, but if you don't have a budget system currently, it will change your life. It has changed so many people's lives,
Hmm.
and I know that a lot of times, you know, we have had a system all of our life that we feel like that works for you and like, you know, have an account and you have the digital, you know, things that you're
Hmm.
looking at, but really having your own personal document of a budget really lays out everything for you and you take back that's another take back control. You're impacting it. You're switching it up over, you know,
Okay.
each month. So it's not really just placing the numbers on for a budget. It's really putting the numbers there, what either you're reviewing the previous month or you're planning for the next month. And you're putting in the numbers of your actual income, you know, anything coming in versus your reoccurring expenses. or you're adding an expense that's about to come,
Okay.
so you can say, this is what I need to switch around,
Right.
next month for something coming up. We're not just going into the next month and be like, we'll see what happens,
Right.
money left, we'll see what happens. But you see what extra you
Mhm.
have for savings. So what you can put aside, what you can invest
Okay.
in, is anything being consistent, with your patterns, with your spending habits, is it consistent? Is it fluctuating?
Okay.
What can I improve in? Also, a big thing is with these companies that we sign up for, right? We don't have to be with them forever. We don't. We can be like, okay, my subscription is about to end. My contract is about to end.
Right.
Now it's time to reevaluate
Right.
all companies within this particular expense.
Right.
Who's going to give me who's going to give me the best
Okay.
cost? Who's
Right.
going to give me the best price?
Mm-hmm.
Shop
Mm-hmm.
around.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's your internet and cable, that's your
Okay.
phone, because I know we go years and years with our phone plans.
Yes,
Without
indeed.
switching.
You're absolutely right.
And cable and internet and all that, there are some things we don't have control over. It's, a lot of us have this system of, gas and electric that we don't have any other options. So,
Right. Right.
but to evaluate the fluctuation of it, right? We can
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, last month was this. Why did it go up all the way to this? Or do I need to get on a budget plan with
To
that
manage that. Yeah.
a budget
Ah,
billing plan? Because most people don't know of these different programs that companies have where it can help you with keeping a solid payment
Yep.
for the whole year.
right.
Yep.
So
Agreed.
just really analyzing your numbers, that's your money. You want to take control over that. Don't just let it be all willy-nilly.
Okay.
And even it doesn't matter how much you have coming in either. If you have a lot of money to cover your expenses, that's still, you need to know what's
Yes.
coming in and out, you know um and so when you visually see it, it hits
Mm.
different. It really
Yes.
does. And it feels so much more empowering now that you really know, and now that you can control what's coming in and what's coming out,
Right.
and people evaluate if they are actually getting paid enough for their expenses. Do they need to get another job? Do I need to evaluate me being comfortable in this position for these years and not being able to really pay my bills? Like I'm
Yeah.
just floating,
Mm.
So really having an evaluation of your wellness, your whole life. Am I really living a whole life?
Right.
And doing that monthly,
Okay.
really evaluating it monthly can be a great habit. And I will say, as a business coach, that is a transferable skill. That
Mm.
transferable skill will go right, if you are a business owner, will go right into your business. And now you have that skill into your business,
Right.
because I meet people that don't have those skills, and now we got to work on their personal and business.
Right.
Your personal
Okay.
first, then it's transferable. You're like, oh yeah, I need to put these numbers down. I need to know before I do anything, before I even ask for funding, that
Right.
what my revenue is going to be and what my expenses are.
Well,
So
that's very interesting, LaQuita, because one of our financial advisors also mentioned that treat your personal credit
Every
as
dollar.
as
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
business.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So what
Hmm.
I see, what I'm hearing is a theme. The theme is take control of our credit and start taking control of our budgeting, and those two things work together to give us control
Yes.
over our lives. Because to be honest, I
Yes.
um
Hmm.
I'm that person who just buries the head in the sand, doesn't look at the credit report, doesn't look at the budget at all. But that's
Hmm.
a way to gain control, and when you have control, you have
Yes.
peace. And so that's what we
Mm.
Yes. Oh my God. It brings so much peace. Oh, you feel like you in a new life. You like, oh my God, I'm really
yes.
I tell people, I'm so glad I got this position. Like, even just for me personally,
Right.
like, it makes you feel so much better.
Okay.
And then all these things happening around us, like, with the government, you don't even care. You
Because you're
I don't even care. They can do what they want to do. Well, I'm controlling my finances.
okay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
As I'm looking over, because you said a lot of things, you probably covered a bit of the stuff, and I don't want to have some redundancies here.
Yeah.
But here's a question I have for you. So, in saving money, even small amounts, uh,
Mhm.
how does that play into long term, consistent money habits? So, some of us save a little here or a lot there or whatever, but how does saving, whatever you're saving, how does that play into consistent money habits? Yeah.
Oh, I would say, how does that okay, so how does that play into consistent money habits? Ooh, so, yes. So what we teach, we tell people don't focus on how much you're saving, right, in the
Mm,
beginning. Like when you do, it's gonna go into the next step. Like when you're budgeting, then the saving starts to happen, right?
Mm.
Because when we meet, we were like, okay, so what could we put aside? Or also, because a lot of times people will have random money for like, you know, going to out to eat randomly. So we're
mm,
like, if you could have, we'll look at like how many times you go out to eat for the week. So if we take one of those away, what is that
Okay.
total? So then let's and you want to
Right.
save, right? If they're like, "Oh, I come here, I want to save." Da, da. So let's just start there. Let's not think about a whole big old number. Let's not try to dive into I need to go buy a whole bunch of stocks and
right,
all this
right,
type of stuff. But let's have baby steps because we all know small
Okay.
steps have bigger impact, bigger changes.
Mhm.
So starting small, really looking at your budget. Starting with a small amount can always help you grow
Mhm.
gradually, with
mm-hmm,
saving.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Um, having that, um, new behavior start by separating it from it. So having an automatic amount going into that
Okay.
account is
mm,
more helpful than you putting it in there.
Okay.
So when you do, everybody has a if you're working for an employer, you have a system that you can go in, or you can contact your employer and say, I want this percentage to go to
Mhm.
this account. I
right,
want this to go to that
Okay.
account. So really updating that with that dollar amount and having that come out where you're not even seeing it come out, right? So that's one thing. Start there, start
Okay.
small, and put it into your savings account. Because I'm going to tell you the amount of people we meet that have a checking and a savings with nothing in the savings. I'm like, I know this is a system that we have been planted in, right?
right,
Like
right,
we just opened it just because we're like, okay, we just have it.
Yeah.
It's there. There's nothing going in it though.
right,
For
right. It's just
years. For
it's to
years. It's
say that
just
I
Okay.
sitting
have it.
there. So we're like, let's utilize it. Let's put something in it. Now, once you have started, you get that habit. We're gonna have you start that habit first because we don't want to overwhelm you. Okay.
Right.
Because the next we would say probably how habits works, right? You want to have a habit at least minimum 90 days for you to have
Mhm.
transformation, for
Right.
you to be comfortable. Your body's not going to go into fight or flight, right? So you've got this habit of just blindly put it into a savings account that you have connected, where your checking account is
Right.
going in there. So at minimum, like I said, 3 months, 90 days. Then you're like, "Oh gosh, I got this habit going. I got some savings going. Now let's look into a money market account, right?" So we wanna look at a high yield savings
Mhm.
account. That's what we wanna look at. I said it wrong, I'm sorry. High yields savings account. So this is where you increase your savings without even thinking about something. This is the first habit of investing that you're gonna start with savings, like,
Mm,
where a bank is gonna give you interest on you saving money
Mhm.
with them.
right.
So you can evaluate the bank you're with
Mhm.
currently, or you can do the research and see who has the highest one. Just Google it. Who has the highest,
Rate of
high
return.
yield savings
Okay.
account, right? And you can just a lot of companies will let you just open it just to have that, right? But you do still have to do your research and ask them, don't just open it, right? Ask them, what are the requirements of
Mhm.
this? Do I have to have a certain amount at one
Yeah.
time?
Right.
A lot of times you do have to have a certain amount. It might be minimal or it might be $1,000. We don't know. But this is why we say do that small amount for a certain amount of period
Okay.
first instead of jumping into a high yield savings account. But that would be the next step after having the habit of just saving something small. or what you can after you can see that difference and you have some extra money that you can
Mm.
set aside. Just put it into a savings account. Then you can start with a high yield savings account next. And these are just people that, I'm saying, like, if you have no information about financial literacy or you just want to start
Mhm.
somewhere, those are the small steps that you can start where it doesn't feel overwhelming.
Yep.
You're like trying to figure out something,
Yeah.
it's like the basic things, before you try to go do everything you've heard on the internet,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Yeah.
TikTok things and all this type of stuff that pops up every day. Because when you start that, just know that the phone is hearing you, so it's gonna start showing you all types of things to invest your money in, but stay on course where you just starting with something
Mhm.
small and starting these small steps. So then now you can go to those banks and be like, all right, I've saved, for a year. What else can I do with my funds? What do
Right.
you have? What products and solutions do you have that I can continue to increase my funds that I want to save? Or this is money that you're putting aside for the future goal, your
Mhm.
actual long term goal, which might be a home, knowing the amount that you might have to put down, for a home that you want is important. Doing that research. And then you can split that up into a certain amount of years and say, okay, this is the amount that I'm going to save to the
Mhm.
side, and do those two steps. So you do the original savings and then start putting that into a high yield savings account to get more
Okay.
money back
Yeah.
with that. And that starts that passive income that people talk about. That's
For sure.
actually a start to having that type of habit and thinking like that. So I would say that's the start,
Mhm.
you know.
That
Yeah. And I will mention in that, like, having the communication and building that relationship with
Is
your
important.
banker,
Yeah.
doing those things, to let them know what you're trying to do. Because there's a lot of banks out here. They have their own system of doing things and they're used to, but the people that communicate to them, they help. They do. The people
Mm.
that come in there and talk to them and tell them about their stories and what they want, and then those are the ones they love. They're gonna tell them every discount thing they have going on, any
mm,
Right.
promotion they have
okay.
going on, to tell their friends and, if they're, have a low interest rate right now for a credit card or they're giving out ownership loans at this
Right.
percent,
Right.
car loans, so
Relationship.
they're gonna communicate to those people that been
Mhm.
coming in there and telling them about this story or just saying hey and talking to them and stuff like that. And then they'll call you. You won't feel uncomfortable with them calling you like, hey, such and such, what's going on? They're like, yeah, I'm calling you because this is what we got going on this week. Does this fit into what you
Right.
got? No, but thank you for
Okay.
calling.
Having that personal banking relationship. Um,
Yeah.
that's important.
Yes.
The other thing, oh, you actually answered, one of my questions, which was what type of system do you recommend for habitually saving? And that is setting up an account that
You.
automatically saves to a high yield savings account or your savings account. So thank you for that.
Thanks. Mm-hmm. No problem.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So with that said, talk about mindset shifts. You've seen people do a number of different things, but what are the changes that people have made that have helped to make them make money? It's because you have to have. You talked about a budget earlier, but mentally you have to prepare yourself for whatever is the next thing. So, what maybe are a couple of things that people you've seen? What shifts, mental shifts, have they made to kind of put themselves in the right space?
Oh my goodness. Yes. That is the main part of what holds us back,
Mm,
fear in our mind, our conditioning, the programming of the system here. So that is what we have to work on first because I think I mentioned like what, changing habits is real. Like,
hmm.
and a lot of us, even working with people and stuff like that, we'd be like, why don't they just do this? But
Right,
you're doing the
right,
habit. That's what they used to.
Hmm.
So it's really a practice. It's really practicing, um, like I said, the small steps.
Okay.
And the first step is to acknowledge what you have going on, um, and being like, this is what, acknowledging it, getting any support you need. If you feel like you can't do it on your own, like it's just something about what's going
Mm-hmm.
on that I can't get it right. I can't get
Yep.
it right. Please get support. Like I said, you can go to your banks. They have financial people there. You can look up organizations, because there are organizations around, not just us, that support with financial
Mm-hmm.
literacy.
Okay.
Your workforce programs. So your employer might have something that can help you just talk to someone and have those
Right.
first conversations about what's going on, and what you want to do with your financials, with your goals and financial goals, and what steps you can take. So with the mindset, I would say, for me as a coach, I go into, and when I'm talking about mindset and wellness, I do incorporate wellness practices for my for my clients. So I do tell them the things that are really going to help you is, what are you doing in those first minutes of waking up? When you open your eyes every day, are you thinking about others first?
Right.
And
Right.
nothing's wrong with that, because a lot of us are people like that, and we don't know it, that we have this gift. It's really a
True.
gift that we just think about everything else
Mm,
but ourselves,
mm,
right?
Right.
But we want to bring back your wellness, right? So we want to wake up and think about yourself first, because you have to be your best to be your best at everything else,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So the first thing that I tell people for mindset shifts and change is really waking up and thinking about yourself first, checking in on how you're feeling and what needs to be done to motivate you in that moment. If
That's key.
you're not feeling amazing, if you're
That's
not
true.
feeling amazing, create a habit of just doing that, just checking in with yourself first, and acknowledging what's going on, and try something that's going to motivate you, something small. It could be drinking your favorite tea in the
Mm.
morning, listen to your favorite music, praying, taking a shower,
Yeah.
really getting into your thoughts. Um, Start something like that consistently. Like, see if you can do that consistently with yourself first, because if you don't do that with yourself, that'll tell you that you need help, because you can't really change other things in your life if you're not focusing on your wellness first.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So, um, that is one of the things that I help people do, or I just recommend with clients, is like really checking in with yourself, having a morning routine, a morning motivation, starting there, really helps with my mindset, my shifting a mindset and feeling. So what actually happens though when you start doing that, you start getting clarity. Like your
Yep.
mind starts clearing up, and you're like, dang, it don't even matter what time of the season it is. Like
Right.
like so many clients, even myself, coming into fall or winter, just dread it, right? It's going about to be on the east side, about to be cold. I don't,
Right. Right.
go with the darkness. Let me tell you, so many clients that have now focused on themselves first before anything else are so excited for the fall and winter now.
Mm.
Like, shift the mindset. Oh, it's really about love and spending time with our family,
Mm-hmm.
being thankful. We shift the words
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm.
We have clarity. It's not about the cold season. It's not about, the darkness anymore. It's about the love, the
Yeah.
thankfulness, the gatherings that we're about to have, you know? So that gives you clarity. That helps you to open up your mind, and now you can open up your life to new things coming
Mm-hmm.
in,
Right.
new habits, even down to your scheduling. People are improving their scheduling. Life balance is happening.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
That's important.
So and you learn how to say no when you're not together. When you're not
Mm.
together, you have to get yourself back together
Practice that
first.
two
And
words.
so saying yes, yes,
Two
yes,
little
yes.
words. No.
Huh?
Practice those two little words. No.
Yes.
N-O.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let's recap. We've learned a lot from LaQuita today. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the big takeaways are: one, we need to review our credit reports monthly.
Mm.
Go to
Yes.
annualcreditreport.com. But check your credit. We're going to start taking back control of our lives. Number two, start
Yes.
small. Even if you're starting with $20, and that $20 can come from not eating out once a week. And then, so we're looking
Right.
at our budget. We're kind of looking at, I don't like the word budget, but I like the word purpose spending. So we're looking at how we're spending our money
Yes.
and purposefully spending it,
Yes.
and aligning our spending with our values. So
Uh-huh.
having that control of looking at our credit, adjusting what we need there, looking at our purpose spending plan, adjusting what we need there, and putting that together gives us financial peace of mind. That's what I got.
Yes.
Thank you, LaQuita.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely. And uh, before we get out of here, tell me, is there a place that the community could reach out to you to find out, where you can offer them some help one on one?
Yes. So we always direct everybody to straight to our website at operationhope.org. And then you just sign up as a Hope client. When you go on there,
Gotcha.
it'll be a button that says get
Hmm.
started um as a Hope client. And then when you go through the process of signing up, if you want to have me, there will be a map that pops up, and I am in the Baltimore
Okay.
area.
Gotcha.
So if you hover over the Maryland and you'll see my name, LaQuita Carrington. You'll see all of us. There's a bunch
Hmm.
of us in the
Okay.
DMV actually. And we're all great. Like we are a phenomenal team. Everywhere in the United States. We are a powerhouse.
All right.
And we're not loud, as you can see. Like our founder is really putting us out there and he's getting the word out. And I'm just so grateful. But everything he says, we are all in alignment with him.
Okay.
So you are getting an extension of our founder. And the main thing is just remember that when you come to us, we are there for education, coaching, and resources. So we are here for you for free, no cost.
Hmm.
Okay.
It is
Okay.
it is a thing. And all you have to do is just sign up through our
Yeah,
website.
John Hope Bryant,
Well,
he has
free is a good
free is
thing.
good, right? We'll take free. We
Yes.
will utilize those services, free services. Thank you, John Hope Bryant.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
join us next week. We'll have another very good episode to watch.
Yep. Well, and we hope you enjoyed this show today. If it helps you, hit subscribe on YouTube, and maybe others will follow you as well. Like, share, and comment on the show as well, and maybe other people will see what you've seen.
It's very good information LaQuita shared today. So if you have questions about this show, feel free to reach out to me at angela@thewiseretirement.com, and we'll try to answer those questions for you.
Yes, indeed. So we'll see you on the next episode. I'm Reg.
And I'm Angela Kay, reminding you we're on this journey together. Until next time, take care.
Welcome to the ride.